Hey everyone, it's Josh with JE Vintage Honda Minis in Orlando, Florida. What we're looking at is a KO through K2 Z50 carb, key-in carb. So I'm going to go ahead and disassemble this and we'll do a cleaning on it, and I'll show you kind of the guts of what the carb looks like inside. So it's always good practice. Try and use ethanol-free gas if you can get it in your region. So periodically it's good to take apart these carbs and clean them to get some varnish built up. So bike's not running right, you're making all your adjustments, you're still not getting a great running engine. It's probably time to take that carb apart and probably put it through a little cleaning session. So at the very minimal, when doing these carb rebuilds, get yourself a carb packing kit, which is going to come with your necessary gaskets and O-rings. I'm going to recover. I try to reuse the original key-in jets and control screws here. I'll clean them up, get them all nice and clean, and reuse them just because they're high quality and I don't typically see any of these getting worn out. So try and reuse these if you can. If not, there's bigger kits you can get that come with needles and jets. I don't have any. Try and get Honda OEM if you can. I don't have any other suggestions of what kit works great or not, so that's why I try to reuse all the original brass components that are internal, such as jets. The other thing, make sure you look over your rubber boot here that goes on the cap, because the purpose of this on your carb is to prevent any air leaks getting in, because this area is susceptible to sucking in air. So just look these over too when you're about to place your order, and if it's torn or questionable, go ahead and order yourself a new one. You don't want to have an air leak at the cap. While you're ordering your carb packing kit, you get for your manifold that attaches to your cylinder head, you have an isolator that goes down, but you'll need 2 gaskets to seal that condition off. So go ahead and order yourself 2 of these gaskets. So if you want the Honda part, that's the part number 4. So let's work on getting the carb disassembled completely. Take your intake manifold off. You can set that to the side. I'll clean this out myself. That'll be part of my carb cleaning process. Take your slide, get your needle jet pulled out, take inventory of the little W spring that you're going to need. Don't lose that. Your needle jet should have a little C-clip on it, so make sure that's in place. And just take inventory of those parts. And then on the main carb, we'll take off the access cover for the choke area. We're going to take out our idle screw, and then we'll take our air screw out, and then we'll open. I like these carbs because you can just pop these open with this retaining mechanism here, no screws to take off. We'll pop that off and then we'll get into the internal. So I'm going to go ahead and take off everything on the exterior of the carb first, and then we'll get to the inside. So I got my idle screw. Your idle screw is going to be the one that's got the blunt edge on it, and your air or fuel screw is going to have kind of the needle tip on it. See if I can get it to focus for you. So just inspect that needle tip. If that's worn out, then replace this needle. It only really happen if someone over tightened that screw and it just basically squished the tip of it. This is going to be that cover that you can look at the internal of the the choke mechanism. There's a gasket on here, so you might as well just get that taken off, because that carb packing kit comes with a new cork gasket.
Yeah, just give me a little bit.
And then what we'll do is we'll get into the inside of this guy. Just use a flathead screwdriver to gently pull back on this. It should open.
What are you thinking then? I don't know. There's nothing to go do. Not today. I can't do the beach today.
Okay, and then we'll get access to the inside of the bowl area. And we'll take a look at that. So let's take, this is the bowl of the carb. Let's get your drain screw out because there's an O-ring. There should be an O-ring on this, I believe. So let's get this taken out so we can clean this. There isn't a little O-ring. Those are gonna typically be very hard, so we're gonna get that replaced too after we clean it. So this is completely disassembled at this point, and we can get that put to the side. Alright, so what we're looking at here is we got our rubber gasket for the bowl. We're going to replace that with the carb packing kit. You got your brass float, your main jet, and then your pilot or low speed jet is down in there. So you actually got two jets in this car that we can take out and replace. Down there's your little needle in the seat. That's going to ride with the float, and that's what lets fuel in and closes. So we're going to service that area too. So let me get this all taken apart. You're going to want to pull this pin here, and that will release your float, and then you get access to your little needle here in the seat. We'll take that out. So let me get this all taken apart. So this needle and seat here, just maybe a good idea to buy a new one, just in case yours is not in service anymore. But the things to look at on this are that this plunger on the needle still works, and then the other thing is how's it feel going in. It should have a nice easy in and out motion. It shouldn't be sticking, because this needs to be able to come in and out of the seat. So just go ahead and review that closely and order a new part if this needle is no good anymore. And the kit you can get still should come with a seat and the needle. As far as the main jet, it's a two-part jet, so we can disassemble this further. And what you're going to want is just to hold this lower part with some pliers, and then use a flathead screwdriver to get the top main jet out. It's a pretty thin flathead, needs to fit down in there. So there you go. So just get that unscrewed out. Take that out. And then you can gently give this a turn. These don't need to be set in tight at all. Just enough, just snug enough. So go ahead and get your other part out, so we can clean those. And then the low speed jet or idle jet really needs like a jeweler's flathead to get in there. It's very small hole, so we'll go ahead and let's see if I can get in there. And my tip is just be very gentle on that brass. You don't want to strip the flathead because that's recessed in there, and it could be really tough to get out if you muck up the actual place for your flathead to fit into. So that pilot jet in there is very small, and the hole's very small. So I took I guess an S2 or 5/32 flathead bit and put a taper on it so that it could fit down in there, and took it on a little belt grinder and tapered the tip. This is what it looked like originally. So I tapered it, and then it fits down in this hole nicely to pull out the flathead jet that's down in there. Again, I can't stress enough to be very gentle with this jet. Very small. Alright, so for me, just get this bowl gasket out. This is nice and more old, and not nice, it's hard and not gonna seal well anymore. But take a pick and make sure you go through the channel. So you're trying to get all this stuff cleaned out. I got some leftover in there, so just go around the ring and remove any of that old rubber gunk that may be sitting in this channel. Also get your O-ring out of here. It's good to have this little pick to get down in there. Your packing kit will come with a new O-ring, so this is garbage, of course. Again, just go around this with a little pick, kind of scrape off all the little stuff that's all gunked in there after 50 years. Alright, so we're at the stage where everything's disassembled. I have an ultrasonic cleaner, so I'm going to use that to get these parts all soaked and cleaned. There's also Chem Dip, which is a product that you can buy in a bucket, like a gallon bucket, and it comes with a basket, and you just drop it in there. I've never used it, but it's got good reviews, and I think a lot of people have used it that feel strongly about it. So if you don't have an ultrasonic cleaner, excuse me, that Chem Dip is another option for you to. I think it's like Gunk Brand is a company that makes it. I'll show you a picture of it online. So I'm going to put this in the ultrasonic cleaner, and then I have a vapor honer, and I'll follow up with a vapor honer just to get the aesthetics of it cleaned up. And then we'll reassemble it with its carb packing kit that I bought. This is a Honda part. There it is right there. Again, buy Honda when you can. So let's get this in the ultrasonic cleaner. First step, actually, another step you guys might want to use is some brake cleaner first here too. Go in there, spray everything out with some brake. I'm going to actually do that. Spray everything with some brake cleaner, help break up all the gunk and varnish and stuff, so that the ultrasonic cleaner can do a better job. Alright, so that's that gunk stuff I was talking about. Good reviews. It's been around for a while. So if you don't have an ultrasonic cleaner, this is a good option for you. Just dump it in there and let it do its job. So what I'm currently using is a Harbor Freight Special here. It's enough volume to fit your carburetors in it. It's got a heating function on it. No problems whatsoever with it. The only thing I would say is make sure that you unplug it when you're done. Just unplug it when you're done. And then my cleaner of choice is this Extreme Simple Green Aircraft and Precision Cleaner. Again, I get this on Amazon. This stuff is awesome. Great cleaner. Doesn't seem to discolor any of these Honda parts. I mean, if you leave it in there for a long time, like overnight, yeah, I think there's going to be some darkening. But just for the 15 or 20 minutes that you may run your cleaner cycle on the ultrasonic, your parts are going to be just fine. One other little nifty thing, I think I got this from, I don't even know, like Target or something. This is in the food area. The strainer. So I'll put all my small stuff in this. Drop my jets. It just makes it easy not to lose all that stuff when you bathe it in the solution. And then the rest of the bigger parts can just lay inside the ultrasonic cleaner. So we'll just let this run for 2 or 3 cycles. Keep an eye on your float. That should float. If it sinks, you need to get a new one or repair it. Alright, so we're done with the ultrasonic cleaning, and the next step is going to be used, well, this might be your final step. My next step, I'm going to use a vapor honer to clean up the carb bodies and do a little spraying on some of these other parts here.